everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a magic book review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Friday, and that is when I set aside some time to look at a magic book because I'm a strong believer in magic books, always have. In fact, I'm always pushing books on this channel. I'm always showing you pictures of my library, and I'm always telling you that if you want to take your magic from here to here, you need a library. You need a strong magic library. And I'm going to say right now, you need one of each category. Okay, so you need books that teach tricks, right? Anytime you need a new color-changing deck routine, you can just go to your library and find one. But you also need books that teach sleights. So whenever you need that reference, you're watching a video or you're reading another book and they say, hey, do such and such a sleight. Well, where do I learn that? I'm going to go to my library. Go to my library and find it. And third, you need books on theory. That's how magicians perform, how magicians think about magic. All three of those things are important for you to be a well-rounded performer. And today, we got a book that does a little bit of theory and teaches some sleights. This is Concerning the Palming of Cards from John Galsworthy and Vanishing Ink. You can find this at Vanishing Ink for 40 bucks. What is Concerning the Palming of Cards? It's a book on palming cards. And I know, for many of us, that is an issue. You know, I don't know how many times I'm asked if the wallet for sale is a no palm card to wallet. Is it a no palm card to wallet? Because lately, there have been so many people who are just fearful of palming and believe that you have to have giant hands to palm cards. You don't. You don't need giant hands to palm cards. You just need to know how to be deceptive and use misdirection, which is half of magic, right? I know we all look for self-working and easy, but palming, that's been around since card cheating, okay? And it is an essential sleight to learn. The great thing about John's book is it's fully approachable from all skill levels. I think if you're a beginner and you've never done this before, this will stretch you for sure, right? Because it's not starting off with basics, but it's a good reference to have, okay? Second, I think if you're an intermediate person and you've been around magic for a while, this will be nice because it's going to add some palms to your routining that you might not normally know. But let's say you're an advanced magician. You're like, I'm an advanced, I know some of these palms. Do I really need to pick this book up? Yeah, because information is the most valuable thing there is, okay? Even if you know how to do some of these palms and you look through the table of contents and you're like, I already know how to do some of these, I would still recommend you pick these up because what you don't know is you don't know John Galsworthy's notes and you don't know his handling. You don't know his tips. And that's what this book is about. It's him showing you how he does this. You know, when the guys from Vanishing Ink talk about this book, they talk about the fact that they're watching John do palming, and you'd think about the combined knowledge that, Andy Gladwin, has, to look at that and for them to say to themselves, how is he doing that? This is palming we've never seen before. Well, okay, certainly, then there's something to be said for this, right? So I think if John Galsworthy is fooling the Vanishing Ink guys with his palming techniques, then this book has value. I remember my uncle going into the hardware store, and I would walk around the store with him, and he would ask the salespeople questions. And sometimes I would hear him ask a question that I knew that he knew the answer for. And I thought, this is the biggest waste of time. Why is he asking this guy how to do this when he already knows? Well, he was asking because he wanted to hear how this person does it. And you never know when someone's going to drop some little piece of knowledge or some little piece of information that you didn't have that takes your game from here to here. And that's what books do. So don't just look at the table of contents and think to yourself, I already know how to do all these. That's great. But the reason why this book is published is because John is giving you his tips and his handling. We should look at the table of contents. beautiful red cloth-bound book, gold foiling on here, 148 pages, $40 at Vanishing Ink. And you know, I've never been disappointed with a Vanishing Ink book, never have. And that's why I love Vanishing Ink, is because they are dedicated to putting out quality tricks, but then also books. Vanishing Ink is like, we are like-minded in that they also believe in books. So you get this introduction, and see how they're broken down? You get top palms, bottom palms, palm steals, and then miscellaneous moves, and then your conclusion. So, I mean, you can look through here, right? It says Berg, one-handed top, Hugard, touch palm 1, Erdnase bottom, touch palm 2, the Leipzig bottom palm color change, side steal, diagonal palm shift. I mean, that's a popular one, of course, right? Lots of people know diagonal palm shift, but you don't know how John does it, right? You got the top palm replacement, palm to palm transfer, box load, beautiful typeset, as you're always gonna get, nice, beautiful full color photographs that show you everything, nice layout as far as just readability and readability. I think there's so many positives to this book. It's going to be a wonderful reference on your shelf. You know, like I said earlier, if you're one of those people and you're afraid of palming, you've kind of always just kind of like, I'm right there with you. I am. I never learned to palm correctly, right? I was self-taught and I was always doing it poorly. I never really had a good reference. I have some of the old, you know, Hugard books, right? But those are just like still pictures, and sometimes, you know, the description's like super short, and you're wishing that you had a little bit more help, a little bit more hand-holding. And I think that's really what this book does, right? It really helps with that regard. And, you know, yeah, it's a scary thing, and it's always scary to conceal something like that right in front of the spectator, you know, but, you know, it's just like anything else in magic. You just need a little bit of bravery and some encouragement, and you just need to put yourself out there and try it, and then begin to see that it's really not as hard as we all make it out to be. And so I think John and the guys at Vanishing Ink really want to help you with that. So I think that makes this book a really great reference. Vanishing Ink, $40. That's where you want to go. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, and lastly, I would like to remind you that mine is not the only voice out there. When making a magic purchase, be sure to watch other review channels to get a well-rounded opinion. Please don't take my word for it. I am just one voice. There are plenty of other fantastic review channels out there, and you should be listening to all of them. I've included several of my favorite channels here, but I'm sure you know of a few others. Please do yourself a favor and subscribe and follow these talented people as well, so that you're always making the best purchase possible that fits your style and your character. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.